Emperor Hirohito. The name resonates through history, echoing through the corridors of time. For Japan, he was more than just an emperor. He was a living god, a symbol of their nation and its enduring spirit. His life spanned a tumultuous period, witnessing Japan's transition from a feudal society to a modern economic powerhouse, a journey marked by profound changes and challenges. Hirohito's reign, known as the Showa Era, saw the horrors of war and the promise of peace. It was a time of great upheaval and transformation. Understanding Hirohito is to understand modern Japan itself, a nation that rose from the ashes of conflict to become a beacon of economic success. His life, his decisions, his very existence shaped the destiny of a nation, influencing its path and its people. Hirohito's life was a paradox, a blend of tradition and modernity, power and restraint. He was both a powerful emperor and a figurehead with limited political power, navigating the delicate balance of his role. He was revered by his people, yet shrouded in mystery, a figure both familiar and enigmatic. This essay explores the life and legacy of this enigmatic figure, delving into the complexities of his reign. We will delve into his upbringing, examining the early influences that shaped his character and leadership, his role in World War II, a period that tested his leadership and the resilience of his nation, and his impact on Japan's post-war transformation, a time of rebuilding and renewal. From the ashes of war, Japan rose to become a global economic force, a testament to its people's determination and hard work. This miracle was fueled by the hard work and resilience of its people who rebuilt their nation with unwavering dedication. But it was also shaped by the leadership of Hirohito, who guided his country through times of great change. He embraced democracy and renounced war, paving the way for Japan's peaceful reintegration into the international community and leaving a lasting legacy of peace and progress. Born in 1901, Hirohito's early life was steeped in tradition, surrounded by the customs and rituals of the Japanese imperial family. As the eldest son of Crown Prince Yoshihito, he was destined for the throne, a role that came with immense responsibility and expectations. His upbringing was strict and formal, designed to prepare him for his future role as emperor. He received a rigorous education in Japanese history, culture, and military affairs, ensuring he was well versed in the nation's heritage. However, Hirohito's education was not solely focused on the past. He was also introduced to Western ideas and technology, broadening his perspective. This exposure to Western advancements was crucial as Japan was rapidly modernizing and integrating new technologies. He developed a keen interest in marine biology, even conducting his own research, which showcased his curiosity and scientific inclination. This blend of traditional and modern influences would shape his worldview, creating a unique perspective that balanced respect for heritage with a vision for progress. Hirohito's grandfather, Emperor Meiji, presided over Japan's rapid modernization, a period known as the Meiji Restoration. The Meiji Restoration saw Japan transform from a feudal society to an industrial power, embracing new technologies and ideas. This legacy weighed heavily on Hirohito, as he was expected to continue guiding Japan through its evolution. He inherited a nation on the rise, eager to assert itself on the world stage, and his leadership would be pivotal in navigating this complex era of change. In 1926, Hirohito ascended to the throne following the death of his father. He took the name Showa, meaning enlightened peace. Little did anyone know that his reign would be anything but peaceful. Japan in the 1920s was a nation grappling with its newfound power. The military exerted increasing influence on the government. They saw expansionism as the key to securing Japan's future. Hirohito, as emperor, was the symbolic head of the military. His role in the events leading up to World War II is a subject of much debate. Some historians argue that Hirohito was a powerless figurehead, manipulated by the military. Others contend that he was a staunch nationalist who actively supported Japan's war effort. The truth likely lies somewhere in between. The 1930s saw Japan slide further into militarism. The invasion of Manchuria in 1931 marked the beginning of Japan's expansionist ambitions. This was followed by a full-scale invasion of China in 1937. As the emperor, Hirohito was kept informed of these events. He met regularly with his military advisors. While there is no evidence that he directly ordered the attack on Pearl Harbor, he did approve Japan's war plans. The attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941 plunged the United States into World War II. Japan's initial victories seemed to justify the military's actions. However, the tide began to turn against Japan. Section 5. The Rising Sun's Zenith, Japanese Expansionism. The early years of the war saw Japan conquer vast swathes of territory in Southeast Asia. Their victories seemed unstoppable. The Japanese people rallied behind their emperor, believing that they were destined to rule Asia. However, this period of Japanese dominance was short-lived. The United States, with its vast industrial might, began to turn the tide. The Battle of Midway in 1942 marked a turning point in the Pacific War. Japan's military leaders, blinded by their early successes, refused to admit defeat. They continued to fight on, even as the situation grew increasingly desperate. Section 6. Turning tides from dominance to defeat. As the war dragged on, Japan faced mounting losses. The Allied forces, led by the United States, launched a relentless bombing campaign against Japanese cities. The firebombing of Tokyo in March 1945 killed over 100,000 people. Despite these setbacks, Japan's leaders refused to surrender. They believed that by inflicting heavy casualties on the Allies, they could negotiate a more favorable peace settlement. Hirohito, meanwhile, remained largely silent. The use of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945 finally forced Japan to surrender. On August 15, Hirohito delivered a radio address to the Japanese people announcing their unconditional surrender. Section 7. Surrender and Transformation. Embracing a new Japan. Hirohito's surrender broadcast was a pivotal moment in Japanese history. For the first time, the Japanese people heard their emperor's voice. He urged them to endure the unendurable and to work towards building a new, peaceful Japan. The post-war period was a time of immense change for Japan. The country was occupied by Allied forces, led by the United States. General Douglas MacArthur, the supreme commander of the Allied powers, oversaw the dismantling of Japan's military and the drafting of a new constitution. Hirohito's role in post-war Japan was a complex one. He renounced his divinity and embraced his new role as a constitutional monarch. He worked closely with MacArthur to rebuild the country and to promote democracy. Section 8. The Post-War Emperor, Symbol of Peace and Progress. Hirohito's post-war reign was marked by a steadfast commitment to peace and progress. He traveled extensively throughout Japan, meeting with his people and actively promoting reconciliation. He also played a key role in Japan's remarkable economic recovery. Under Hirohito's symbolic leadership, Japan experienced an unprecedented economic miracle. The country transformed itself into a global economic powerhouse known for its technological innovation and high-quality products. Hirohito's reign saw Japan reintegrate into the international community with renewed vigor. The country renounced war and fully embraced pacifism. It became a close ally of the United States and a key player in the global economy. Section 9. Legacy and Controversy, a complex figure in history. Hirohito's legacy is a complex and contested one, filled with both admiration and criticism. He is revered by many Japanese for his role in the country's post-war recovery, where he became a symbol of resilience and hope. He is seen as a symbol of peace and progress, often remembered for his efforts to rebuild Japan and foster international relations. However, his role in World War II continues to be a source of controversy, casting a shadow over his legacy. Some argue that he should have done more to prevent the war or to stop the atrocities committed by Japanese forces, questioning his moral responsibility. Others maintain that he was a product of his time and that he did the best he could under difficult circumstances, constrained by the political and military environment. Despite the controversies, there is no denying Hirohito's significance in Japanese history, as his reign marked a period of profound change. He was a witness to some of the most tumultuous events of the 20th century, from the devastation of war to the miracle of economic recovery. His life and reign continue to shape Japan's identity today, influencing both its cultural memory and its political landscape. Section 10. Conclusion. Hirohito's enduring impact. Emperor Hirohito's life was a paradox, a blend of tradition and modernity, war and peace, reverence and controversy. He remains a pivotal figure in understanding Japan's journey from a feudal society to a global power. His legacy is multifaceted, a tapestry woven with threads of both light and shadow. Hirohito's story reminds us that history is seldom simple. It is a complex and nuanced narrative shaped by individuals and the forces that surround them. As we reflect on the life of Emperor Hirohito, we are reminded of the enduring power of leadership, for better or worse. His story serves as a reminder of the importance of understanding the past as we navigate the complexities of the present and the future.